Hello there, this is SD. We are going to take our streak hopefully to 2 today. We rolled Crystal B at the end last session when we won our 3rd Federation A run in the last about 10, because of just the way that the last couple of streaks have gone, with us playing it late and then finishing the cycle and then playing it as our one win we got on the second part of that cycle. Crystal B is a ridiculously strong ship. You could definitely make an argument for this being the best ship in the game. I think that probably in terms of where it gets, how little it needs to win, this is probably the best. You can pretty much just win the game if you get hacking and a clone bay and Zoltan Shield bypass. It's not quite as consistent as, say, NGC, which is what I would put as the most consistent ship in the game, just because you can't kill auto ships with Zoltan Shields early on, so if you just get loads of them to start your run, it can be quite rough, but otherwise you're pretty much smooth sailing. So let's start this. Put 2 of you in the teleporter right away. I think we want to go there and there, and then there. I mean, we can get to here faster, but if we do that, we would then need to do some really bad backtracking to get to, say, there. We wouldn't mind a store just to sell this stupid Crystal Vengeance, because it sells for 40 scrap, and it's actually kind of dangerous to have on a boarding ship. You might accidentally kill your crew with it. Yeah, go that way. We can explore the asteroid field, and unfortunately we take 5 free damage and don't get anything good, so we got the bad result there. Did we save your positions? No, we didn't. Your default has a crystal in weapons, despite the fact this ship has no weapons. I don't know why they did that. Let's offer our assistance and try to scan the planet. Okay, we get a complete scan. Any life is valuable. Ooh, nice. That's a very large bribe. We will accept that and take 23 scrap. That allows us to immediately get our shields up. We don't want the distress beacon. It doesn't really see anything more than going here, and we don't have good distress options on this ship. We kind of have to go through a nebula, which is awkward because nebula ships are more likely than most places to be autoscouts, which currently we can't do anything to. Okay, there's a rebel ship. It's good to check the text on these carefully. I typically skip through them quite quickly, but it will often tell you whether or not it's, a ship that has crew, or, which this is, or an autoscout. This is a cruise ship. We're going to send all 3 of our people. They should have 3 crew on that ship, so if we board into shields, we will pull the pilot. That will stop them escaping. Let's engage lockdown now so we can kill one of these at, well, 2 of these at 3v2, I guess. Cloak. Okay, so this is Crystal Vengeance being dangerous. Our shield buffer, however, is huge here. That hit our shields. If we didn't have the buffer, this beam drone would be ripping us up. Well, the Crystal Vengeance even hit somewhere useful. They didn't set a fire, which is good. They did manage to get a hit on us with the beam drone, but we'll take some hits from the missiles, but we win this fight, so that fire is annoying, but we win here. Well, we got a weapon. This isn't really the kind of weapon that you want to get, but it sells for 20 scrap, and it may even be useful. We currently can't use it because we have no missiles, along with the fact that it's just not particularly good. Well, we have a fire, which is awkward, because crystals have a hidden penalty to fighting fires, and we can't vent it because the fire is indoors. However, it is far away from any other system, so if we cycle people in and out, we should eventually manage to put this fire out. There we go. Didn't even take that long, really. We took 10 damage in that fight? That's quite bad. Oh no, we didn't. I was forgetting there was the event. We took 5 damage in the fight, that's fine. It's not great that we've already taken 10 damage and we're only a couple of jumps in, but, you know, they hit us through cloaking and we had the bad event. We've made quite a lot of scrap in those jumps, so it's fine. Now what I should have done there, and what I'll remember to do, is every time I jump away, I should be running my pilot already to the teleporter while we jump out. I'd like to get at least one more jump before we go into the nebula, because I want to have shields too in case it's an auto scout we have to run away from. Let's therefore go here. And, well, we got an auto scout we have to run away from here instead. They're running from us. We could board into their piloting, but I'm worried about them hitting our teleporter. I think here we just charge up our FTL. Oh, I can't power the repair bomb in case they hit my shields because I have no missiles. This ship gets out ahead of us. I don't think we can do anything about it. Our shield buffer is once again providing us tremendous value. Cloak now, they should get out before they can really do anything more to us. But Fleet Pursuit is doubled, we now have to... This exit location kind of sucks as well. Let me just check. Yes, this is tracking. We don't have any drone parts to sell. We're just going to hit one jump in the nebula then. Okay, well this is a Mantis ship. It's a Mantis ship with very dangerous weapons though. I forgot to put my people back in the teleporter. That was dumb. Okay, they boarded me in weapons. I'm going to vent you out, and I want to board my people into their weapons and break them. I engaged the lockdown too late, so they actually got in there. That's annoying, because that means they're going to get to shoot these at me. Get myself some evade. Now go back into doors. My crystals will start breaking their weapons now. Okay, we're safe. Just go and fight them in the medbay, because I don't care about them firing one ion stunner at me. They'll warp back to their ship and then die. Cool, we got scrap. So it turns out the auto scout was outside the nebula and the kind of ship that we wanted was in it. That's the reverse of what's probable, but whatever. Shield's up now. Let's go here, that sees the most. I think, do we only have 2 jumps here before the exit? Yes. But this gives us 2 other possibilities to see a store. We will reject. This ship should be quite easy to kill. I keep forgetting to do the thing where I run my pilot to the teleporter. Not bothering to do any lockdown stuff. I actually want their crew to get to me. We keep getting hit through cloaking. Now, admittedly, we have no pilot, so the evade is only 60%, but it's still annoying and unlucky. We don't especially benefit from fixing it, but considering we don't have any missiles to use the one weapon we have, and it's trash anyway. Okay, well, we're not getting a store. It might have been, like, there or there. We have no way of knowing which of these jumps is better, so we'll just go here, I guess. Well, we can't kill this ship. Let's try to access the cache, and we did. Now, that is much better. That is a much better bomb to get. We still can't use it, because we still have not obtained any missiles in this entire run so far. But our cloaking there gives us one of the best, if not the best, boarding support weapon in the game. So, off to the exit. It's been a brief but eventful Sector 1. I wouldn't make this trade if I could, but also, we can't. I do not want to go Rock, although there are more stores there, because Rock-controlled sectors have the Rock Live Mine Blue event, and I really do not want to lose Crystal Crew. Let's just go to a Mantis-controlled sector. We can beat Mantis. The main thing we would want at a store would be a clone bay, which it looks like we're going to have the option to get. Well, maybe. But we've got an immediate store. We could alternately get hacking, although we don't have anything to use it with right now. Well, there isn't hacking here. There is a clone bay. We're just buying that so we can kill auto ships. And get some repairs. I could buy a missile, but honestly, we don't really need it. We'll eventually want to be able to small bomb things, but it's not immediately urgent. Also, let's remember to do this time. Hopefully we can get some Mantis crew. What do you mean all humans? We don't have any humans on our ship. Just boardage shields, don't even bother using the lockdown. We want to win this fight as quickly as possible, so we take fewer missiles. Can we, maybe, cloak a missile? No. For the third time, we have failed to cloak a missile. Well, we get a human. That's nice. We've still yet to get a single consumable resource. My crystals are getting vented now. This unfortunately does take a while when you make this switch, because of course crystals actually take less damage from suffocation, so it takes, and they have more hit points than most crews, so it takes a little while to vent them. We can start the 3 crystals now in the teleporter and run the human in to help, or leave them in piloting, depending on what I want to do. If I leave them in piloting, I might actually occasionally dodge a missile. This was a 2-store Mantis sector. We can't really do anything much there. I kept the repair bomb at that last store, just in case it becomes helpful. We weren't going to get anything with it right there, so I might as well hold on to it. We're not going to hit this store. It seems to involve taking a very bad path through the rest of the sector. I suppose we could do something like that, and that, or even this, and... Actually, I'm going to go here and we'll see. If we can make some scrap, we could theoretically get hacking there. If all 3 of these gave us scrap, and then we sold the repair bomb, we might be able to buy hacking. Not a guarantee even if all 3 of them did, because if all of them gave... Let's see, if all of them gave 12, which is a minimum of a medium reward, we would be at... Actually, if all of them gave 12, we would be there. And obviously there's the option, some of them might give us no scrap, but some of them might also be like double rewards or high rewards or stuff like that. We're going to leave our human on the ship to deal with whoever they board us with. and then we're going to board into them. Let's break that stupid missile. Start venting the critical stuff. Oh cool, we took the missile down before it ever got to fire. Good. Now we want to save our lockdown powers to lock the other guys out of running to the medbay. I actually don't want to vent this Mantis too quickly. I'd like them to jump back when their other two crew are already dead, so we're always outnumbering them. So I didn't vent them directly, which I could have done there. And now you just need to vent and lock them in. Cool. I don't even need to re-oxygenate this area, although I suppose this person doesn't need to die. Yeah, they'll be okay. These two need to come back, though. So we made 16 scrap there, and we finally got some consumables. I think most of the time this early I'll save the human on my ship so I can dodge stuff, but it depends on their weapons. In this Mantis sector, it's more valuable anyway, because they're likely to board me as well, and I can use the human to fend off boarders on my ship while my crew destroy the weapons on the other side. So, if we go now, we're pretty much... If we go this way, we now are committing to go to the store, because we can't backtrack. We could go this top way, but I don't see that we get very many more jumps by doing that. And the store is a possibility to get something good, so let's do it. Cool, we've got a fight here as well. This ship cannot damage us. I should have already been venting this, that is a mistake. You get in there, but we might actually, okay, good, they've gone up there. Let's just vent this person. They can warp back. We'll let them send another crew member over and get them low down and let them run as well. And then we might use this to train, because we can do that safely. It'll be a bit tedious with them only having one shot. But I think it's worth doing. Come on down. That's convenient. They went directly where I needed them. Okay, we've punched this NG enough now. You go here, you go there, you go there. And now we're going to save them here, and I will meet you back when we have finished training. This could take a little while. Okay, we're back. It only took me about a minute or two to notice that I'd left my human indoors at the end when I went off, so they weren't obviously gaining any dodges there. But now they're a max pilot. I'm not bothering my other crew. I got them some while I was doing that, but they're going to die so many times that there's not really much benefit and get cloned. There's not a huge deal of benefit to getting more skill. I just need to go in here and break that. I don't even need to use the crystals in there. I can just lock down with this person. Okay, it's upgraded, so I'll probably have to use another lockdown. You get the kills. Cool. And we got 20 scrap there, which is very nice, because that means that if we sell the repair bomb at this store, we have enough to buy hacking right now. How many jumps before this gets taken over, I wonder? Do we have 3? Yes. So we can do 1, 2, 3 there, there, and then towards the exit. Got a solar flare and borders, which is not great. Get up there. This might actually get broken before I can get up there because my crystals are slow. Oh no, it's it. Good. Well, you can get vented, you can blast on this fool. Just go to the store, we can hold this person out until they vent. Oh, there's some good things at that store, but let's consider before we get those. Did I save that? I saved that crew person's position indoors. That was fucking dumb. Let's resave things. So there's no hacking here. There is a burst laser too, which is obviously amazing. There is also a Zoltan shield bypass, which is also amazing. We can't get both, unfortunately. So we need to consider which of these things that we want. The burst laser 2 is the best conventional weapon in the game, in my opinion. You could make an argument for halberd beam or flak 1, but it's also exceedingly rare to see. The problem with getting the burst laser 2 is it doesn't do anything right now, but I'm not sure that we need it to, because the only situation in which that would really be a problem would be if we saw a Zoltan shield ship. Against an auto scout we can just kill with boarding. Zoltan shield bypass is relatively rare, but in a lot of fights that doesn't do anything either, because there's not actually many Zoltan shields. Now, it's very helpful from the fact that we have a bomb, and it's good against the boss and things like that, but I think the burst laser 2 is better, so I'm just grabbing this. I would have grabbed hacking instead of the burst laser 2 if it had been there, but it wasn't, so we'll work on getting our weapons up so we can use the burst 2 to pop shields. Looks like they're boarding us. Let's board them and break their weapons. Take that missile down. Actually, we may have stopped them from boarding us because of us getting on their ship fast enough. Okay, missiles down. We can now send over the human as reinforcements and fight 4v3. Get over there, but swap because I want the human to preserve their training. Easy stuff. And we're starting to accumulate some missiles. Because of the ability to use the crystal lockdown, you don't need small bomb as much. It's not as useful as on other ships where you use it to disable, you know, dangerous weapons or med bays and stuff, because your crystals can kind of do that on their own. But certainly every boarding ship is made stronger by adding a small bomb. Two. And yeah, we do have enough time to go there, there. We might even be able to get a third before the exit. I haven't measured, and I won't do that until nearer to the time. I will save scrap because there could be an early Sector 3 store. Nothing there, unfortunately. Well, we have a fight. They're boarding us. They have a missile, so we want to break that. Let them come on over. You engage lockdown. Are you fucking joking? How many times have we been hit through cloaking in this stupid run? Oh, let's maybe not let them break my Clun Bay. It doesn't really matter because we're on a ship with 1 NG. There's no need to allow them to do that. Okay, Clun Bay's down. Murdered this NG. You're gonna come back and die. So the cloaking so far continues to be wildly unsuccessful. I think, are you the only person we need to vent? Yeah, you're the only person we need to vent. The other two are alright. Unfortunately, crystals take a little while to vent. We have enough scrap right now to get our weapons up to use the burst laser, but we have no urgent need to do so. Do we? It would be unfortunate if a Zoltan shield ship came up. We would need to use all of our small bombs to get through and need them to all hit. But the odds of that happening in a Mantis sector are not very high. And I'd rather keep the scrap in case we get an early store. So, do we have another jump? No, we don't. We don't have the supplies for that. Zoltan or Rebel? Zoltan is more stores, but it's Zoltan shields. Rebel is fewer stores, generally higher scrap, more autoscouts, but we're fine against autoscouts for right now. I think 1 store is fine right now, and the Zoltan shields are more annoying. If I'd known this was up, the Zoltan shield bypass is more useful, but I didn't. I think the burst laser 2 is still the correct choice. At the moment, I'd just like to accumulate some scrap. Let's go Rebel. We start out in a nebula. I will hold off on upgrading my weapons until I have... Oh cool, we get the teleporter blue option. So there's a heavily damaged Federation ship. This should give us scrap and a crew member. Nice. So we now never need to board with our pilot human, because we now have a different 4th boarder. We are almost to where we can afford afford hacking, rather. This is a little dangerous. I'm going to only board with two crystals because I don't want to. If there's a disaster, I want to only lose 2 crew, not, you know, even more. Let's put, which is you is the one that has. You're the one with engines training. You actually have shields training. So let's do this. Get you in there. Okay, that stuff is down. Is that an ion bomb? I think it is. It is. We got it down just in time. Let's see if we can break this drone before they suffocate. No, they have a buffer. You might be able to do it anyway, actually, but I'm a little bit worried about one coming in and hitting my Clun Bay. Okay, they've taken it down, good. Are we at the point where the asteroids are in a gap? So I'm going to wait until they start coming in again, and then I'm going to small bomb their shields. And miss, great. I'll have these ready to board just in case I need to. And it looks like we're going to need to because they've dodged both of our shots so far, and we only have 1 missile left. Cloak that. I don't want them to hit my Clun Bay and prevent me from bringing my crew back if they die. Which And my human is going to do. I think my crystal should be fine unless an asteroid hits them. And I don't mind that much if that human that I just picked up dies. And they made it. Cool. As long as they don't hit our shields, with the ion bomb, we're fine. And now that can't happen because their weapons are down. So they'll just get pelted to death by asteroids. It's annoying that they dodged 2 of our 3 missiles. Not the 3 we fire, 2 of the total of 3 missiles that we had on our ship that we've got in the entire run so far. But they'll die here to this asteroid. Now the fight's over, we can safely vent everybody. It was not safe to do that during the fight. We don't see a store. We now have our hacking buffer. So we get up to 120 scrap, and then we'll upgrade our weapons so that the burst laser is available in situations that we want to use it. We'll probably go weapons 3 immediately after that, so we can use both of them in conjunction. If we fight a bunch of autoscouts in this sector, the one good thing about it is if we are getting... You can't crew kill them, obviously, they don't have any crew, so we'll be getting rewards for the normal table, which might mean we actually get some consumables, which hasn't so far been happening at all, really. We've got a storage cache here, they have drones. This is a double reward, so it's worth doing. I'm going to actually board with everybody. There's some danger in this, but it's quite small. And now there's none. We didn't even need to use our cloaking. They'll never be able to use those things again. This will unfortunately take ages. Because we'll have to let them repair each time and then immediately board and break a system again. But they will never ever be able to damage us. At least we have a 4-person teleporter, so we can clone all 3 crystals, board them all in at once perhaps, and break 2 systems at once. Actually, we can't afford to risk doing that, because if we do, they might get enough time to get this back. So we actually need to board with 2. Go into drones to make sure that combat drone never comes back. Now break weapons again. And we'll cycle through like this. Break things. I can actually just leave you 2 parked in different rooms. I don't think they'll actually get anything back. Yeah, they might do. So I'll actually put them in, now that they're low down on health, I'll put them in one room and then maybe they can break 1 more before they die. Doesn't look like it though. I can't swap them around right now. They don't actually have any positions, so I can't preserve the system damage those guys had done. Oh well. If they had actually had room to maneuver, I could have put one of the full health people in there before they finished suffocating, and then it would conserve the damage I'd done to that system. Still, we win as soon as they get these repairs. Here, you go in there. This time we can do that because we actually have the space. Sadly, no double reward. And we didn't get any consumables from that particular auto-scout because storage caches are usually just scrap. You can get consumables from the second part of the reward if you get it. Go here, that sees a lot. Forward scout. Board weapons. Lock down immediately. We weren't quite fast enough, they snuck a second person in. That's annoying, since we'd like to hit these weapons. However, they have been delayed in their fleet, in their escape, because they ran the pilot out. They don't really understand the fact they can't get in this room because of the crystals. They just know they're trying to get in here. Okay, those are all broken. Easy win. Lots of venting. We still haven't spotted the store. We have enough scrap now to upgrade our weapons, so let's just do that. Do we want to go here? I actually want to go here, and then we can curl down and around. Good luck with that. Unfortunately, these are free pre-battle borders. They're not their actual crew, so we have to separately deal with the crew on their ship. Lock down immediately. I want to break that big missile. Actually, this might be one fight where we want to start powering the small bomb. Okay, cool. We've taken that down. Cloak this. We only dodged one, but that's all we needed. Break this. Now, we could small bomb them, but the other thing that we could just do is kite them. And that's what we're gonna do. Because they have a med bay, so I don't want to punch them right now, because then they'll just run in there. So if we kite back and forth, our crystal crew will get their lockdown power back, and then we can lock them in a room and fight them 4v2. Also, we don't need to have our oxygen off anymore. The boarders on our ship are dead. Okay, now we can start fighting them and just do this. And we win. We're venting all of you people. Do we see a store? No. In that case, we do that. Next up, we want to buy some power, but we will continue to maintain our 80 scrap buffer. I mean, that fight kind of shows how having crystals with the lockdown power is kind of like having hacking already. Because you can just board lock them out of whatever room you want to destroy and destroy it. But it's never a bad thing to have hacking. Welcome back, Johnson. We'll go this way. Places where there could be stores are what, here? So there's here, here. This would be the worst spot, probably. Here, any of these down here, or there. There's at least one store in this sector, and there could be two. Let them board us so we can more easily smash their weapons and make the fight completely safe. Get door control. They have no med bay, so they're completely non-threatening. Well, the getting hit through cloaking trend continues. Pilot, go and fix that. It gives you something to do. You don't need venting, but the rest of you do. You kinda don't, but I might as well get you to full health. You lose some engines training, but it's fine. We're gonna put somebody else there eventually anyway when we get them. Don't do that yet. They haven't finished venting. This is how long crystals take to vent down, is that my other crew member had time to be fully cloned before they finished dying. Still no store. Our count of consumables is ticking up a little bit now. So this is the most dangerous ship that we've fought so far, I think. They've got dangerous weapons and drones and crew and the clone bay. They probably don't have any ship-side drones, or if they do, it'll be a repair drone, which would actually be quite bad, but... Let's warp in here. Break the clone bay. Okay, good, that's broken. You've used yours already. Who wants to use it next? Lauren, but in a moment. Start breaking those weapons. We probably don't actually need the bomb after all. Okay, now we do. And they dodged, great. Well, we're gonna take some damage from this drone. Oh great, they have a repair drone as well. Please just break this. You two get in there. That way any crew that clone will go to defend shields. That fight was annoying. Go start fixing things. You can be vented at the end. You're fine, you don't need venting. Actually, I'm going to vent the crew who need it now, because the crystals take a while to finish dying. Still no store. Let's buy some power now. Now we can run things more easily. And we can still afford the most important thing. We might regret the power if there's like hacking and flak or something like that, but that's not terribly likely, and we can win even if we have to pass up a flak. 1, 2. So if there's a store there, my fastest way would be what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do I have that? Yes. And if there isn't, I'd be going 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think have enough time to see that beacon. Yes, I do. So we take that path. Let's approach the station. This ship is completely non-threatening. And that being the case, why am I boarding that side? They have a single ion. And I have 2 shields. I could use this as a trainer ship to get another engines person, but because all of those crew die repeatedly, there's no point. Let's just break all their stuff, my crew will clone. And we'll kill them with the burst laser. The ship would be very dangerous with the double drones, but they use double drones that can't pop any shield bubbles. I think we can't risk this, because if you fail on this, it can double the fleet pursuit, and then we won't be able to get the stores. If you had the hacking system, there's a blue option, you're guaranteed to succeed. But it's not worth the risk because of that possible fleet doubling, unfortunately. If you do get it, you get a fleet delay, which is very good, and there is an option that it just doesn't do anything. But I don't think a fleet delay benefits us that much here because of the way things are laid out, and a fleet doubling would be quite bad. It might force us into a dive, it might cost us a store, and we really don't need to delay the fleet here. So let's not take an unnecessary risk. This ship is going to board me, let them do that, and then warp over and smash their weapons. And we're safe and have won the fight. You're gonna warp back. And we just punch you all to death. Cool, we get an NG. The NG will most definitely not be joining our boarding party, but that's completely fine. They can take over engines, and we can use them as our general repair person. Go stand in the engine room. It would obviously be unsporting to board with such a mighty person as an NG. Store must be at one of these two beacons. Possibly there's two of them, I guess. We are now almost to the point where we can afford hacking and bypass at a store. We need 5 more scrap to be able to do that. Our distress options are better than they were a moment ago because we now have an NG. They're still not great, but this sees both of the remaining beacons and this doesn't, so I think we go here. Have to lead them to their destination, and yeah, there's the one store. Let's make absolutely certain we have 2 jumps here. Yep, we have exactly 2. So, there, store, out. Pulsar. Well, we're going to break their weapons, so we should be okay. We will once again let them board us. Ah, we didn't engage lockdown fast enough, so we have to kill this person before we can start breaking their weapons. Cloak. Wow. We finally managed to cloak something. And it was a good one. Because we cloaked all 3 of those shots. And now we're totally safe. This person will eventually get vented off my ship. We win this fight really easily. I can't clone my crew at the end because we're in a pulsar, but it doesn't matter because we're jumping right to a store. So we can clone them at the store if we need to. For that reason, we also don't care about getting our shields recharged here. We can just go straight to the store and they'll recharge there. What have you got for me? This is not what I was looking for. The weapon pre-igniter is a total bait. Don't do that right here. They have hacking, but it's the wrong thing. It says the word hacking in it, but it's not the real deal. We're going to buy this backup battery because this makes hacking more likely to appear in the future. Get some repairs, and let's buy all this fuel. That's a reasonable store. I mean, it's not great, but it's tolerable. We don't actually need to vent these people. They won't be at quite full hit points, but they're close enough that it doesn't matter. What's scrap like in that sector? That was a really, really good scrap sector. We've made 236 scrap, and we still have another jump. So this could be an over 250 scrap, and it's going to be, because this is a possible double reward. And a pretty easy one, because they only have 2 crew over there. Although they are mind controlling me. You lock that down. You go distract them until the mind control runs out. We're safe. Win the fight, acquire scrap. Contact the civilian ship, we get another crew member. So yeah, we didn't get hacking in that sector, but we made a ridiculous amount of scrap. You will not be joining my boarding team. You have a useful skill, so I might as well use you on it. Actually, no, I might as well not. Your skill is shields, and while you have training in that and not weapons, getting faster small bombs is better than getting better shield skills. So, actually, I will not use you on the place that you're trained on. I actually might even put you... Yeah, I'm going to do that, actually. Because the NG has, like, 1 dodge. Who cares? I can train them on weapons. They're more free to roam around fixing things. Ugh. Well, Abandoned Sector is not great since they have no air on their ships, but we have a clone bay, and our crew are mostly, our boarding crew, take less damage from suffocation. So, you know, it's not completely impossible for us to board Lanius ships, and not all ships in this sector will be Lanius anyway. Well, we get an immediate store. Should we take one extra jump so we can get back above 135? Because we're one scrap short of affording bypass and hacking. I think we can afford to do that. Wow, those are some good weapons, but you only have 2 crew over there. I actually should have waited to see what they hacked. They might have hacked our clone bay there rather and made us very sad, but they didn't. Well, we set a double fire on the Lanius ship. Do we kill this person before our crew all suffocate? I think we do. Yep. Cool, we got a free repair, a bunch of scrap. Not even bothering to warp you back, you can just vent on the Lanius ship. Yeah, that's one of the few events in the game where the ASB is on your side. What are you target locking on? Their ship is... It's an environmental hazard, it will just keep going off. That quest beacon is an escort quest, which could itself be a store, so... And Lanius sectors always have 2 stores in them. So we have a chance at... We have 3 different potential chances to get hacking. Take the first one now. They have it, hooray! Well, before I spend any upgrades, I'm going to go to this quest because it could be a store, but I probably just want Hack 2 and Cloak 2 now. It's a reactor upgrade. Cloak 2, Hack 2. Now we can shut down enemy offense and board pretty much anything that we damn well feel like. A Lanius bomber would be challenging, but we can do it. Yeah, this is a nothing beacon. Let's explore the asteroid field to get some free stuff. Okay, here's a Lanius bomber. They have a clone bay, they're going to board us, they have cloaking and a big missile. Let's take the fight. Kill this guy. Now, Lanius bombers in Sector 4 only board you with 1 Lanius, which is substantially less dangerous than 2. Not just for the obvious reason that there's fewer of them to hit you, but also they don't drain the oxygen as quickly. Hack those weapons. They're going to actually board me a second time because I didn't kill that person, and I want them to do that. Because I want to maximize the time when I'm fighting them on my ship, not theirs. Do I even need to hit this room? I don't think that I do, because between the hack and my cloaking, I can just... Actually, I can't cloak at 100%, so I do want to hit that. Take the missile down. Before I kill any of them, I need to bomb their clone bay. I could try hitting it with the burst too, I guess, but it might be upgraded, or, you know, I need 3 different things to hit for that to happen. So, let's charge this up. Let's board now to pull their pilot. Actually let you out so I can kill you faster. And they're all dead. So, we just successfully crew killed a Lanius bomber. If they'd had mind control, it would be significantly more difficult, and these ships can have both cloaking and mind control and a teleporter. They're about the only ship in the game other than the flagship or you that can get 3 different systems. But the chance of that happening in Sector 4 is not very high. Contact the civilian ship. Oh my god! So yeah, we just made 50 scrap and got one of the best weapons in the game for free. I'd say this run is going pretty well. We did have to use 2 bombs, but that's very worth. Everyone be cloned. I was going to just look at the map while waiting for them to, but the game will complain at me and think that I'm trying to warp away without my crystals, so wait until they all die before I look at the map. Okay, haven't spotted another store. Let's do this. Get myself a bit of a damage buffer and just the ability to clone faster. And we want to work towards getting our evade up, although we don't need to do that because our engines person doesn't have their skill train. When they get that, I'll get engines 4 for 100% cloak dodge. And then we can finally put behind us the long nightmare of getting hit through cloaking. Let's go here. Could be a store there. If there isn't, though, that kind of puts us ahead. We're going to go here first. Because we can go there, 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 and out. I think that's how many jumps we have. Yeah, that's how many jumps we have. If I go here and it's not a store, I don't have any way of taking advantage of it. And frankly, even if it is, I'll want more scrap. Like that 40 scrap that we got for doing absolutely nothing. Do you need assistance? I'm not giving you 30 scrap. Unfortunately, this means we pass up the ability to fight that ship, but oh well. If you have a Lanius, you can sometimes just ask for free stuff there, and they might give it to you, or they might give you a fight. Let's investigate the encrypted signal and get another load of free stuff. Another lot of Lanius to board. Do I want to lock down? Yeah, I want to just break all this stuff. My crew might suffocate because of this before we can actually finish killing the 2 Lanius, but it doesn't matter. I actually want to let them in now and can't because my hacking is on cooldown. I mean, frankly, I don't want to win the fight right now because we haven't broken their clone bay. So let's wait until everyone finishes cloning, board them again. The only problematic thing they could do now is bring the missile back up, and their repairs rather are delayed by half because of the hack on that room. So that probably should not happen. Oh yeah, I maybe want to power the small bomb so I can actually bomb that room. Powering the small bomb often helps in getting the small bomb off, I've found. Hold the pilot. Good, no level 3 piloting nonsense. Piloting Quanba. I probably should have just left them over there, although it doesn't make a difference. Could have bent them one way or another. Okay, no second store, but we've made loads and loads of scrap. So the forced abandoned sector has not been even slightly a problem. And we are way, way past the point where we could lose this run, really, by doing anything other than catastrophically misplaying. Even a repeat of what happened on Mantis Sea, where we had 4 of our crew get abducted because I miscounted. That still wouldn't cost us this run at this point, because we could transition to just being a gunship and still wreck everything. We definitely have another jump, don't we? Yes. This ship's kind of annoying. I don't think we need to hack. We need to get that missile down, but we can do that with just boarding and braking with behind lockdown. Which one are you, Johnson? Do a long cloak. We actually managed to dodge something. It's a first for everything. They have a repair drone. It doesn't get to do anything. We don't need to vent everyone here. Just you two. And we have almost 200 scrap. We could upgrade onto the halberd beam, but we don't need to. I'll see if there's an early store in Sector 5 and then reevaluate. I'd probably rather upgrade shields and my hacking and cloaking systems, actually. If I got like hack 3 and cloak 3, nothing would ever hurt me and we can just board and kill everything. And then weapons can come later. There was the other store. It's not worth a double dive, especially for that. We have plenty of time and we don't need any other stores anyway. They're just nice. Okay, well, we'll intervene to defend the outpost. We'll just use the halberd beam in this fight, because they have no shields. We do want to hack weapons if we can before this goes off, because we can't cloak both of these things. So one long lot of time by hacking, one long lot of time by cloaking. Halberd beam, wreck their shit. Didn't quite kill. They'll get to cloak again, but so will we. And this buys time to charge our burst laser and win the fight. We could have boarded, but we didn't need to make the fight safe, so. 50 more scrap. How much scrap did we make in this sector? It was also an enormous amount. We made 307 scrap in this, and then another 32 from a drop, and it is Sector 4. Well, both of these sectors are 2 to 3 stores. Slug Home is generally higher scrap, but NG gives us better options. This could be a forced abandoned 6, and yeah, we beat abandoned. We beat abandoned 4. Abandoned 6 would be more challenging, and this gives us more options and is, there's less annoying pre-battle events. Slug ships can be quite difficult to board because they have high crew counts and a lot of ship layouts that are sort of lots of narrow rooms where you can't take full advantage of your numbers. So we don't see an immediate store. We just do this. We just do that. Attack the Mantis. Not sure we even need to hack these weapons. They're not very dangerous. Fight off their border. You lock him in. Let's do a big long cloak. Their clone bay is down. They've hit my shields, but I'm going to be cloaked for a really, really long time. And they're prioritizing defending their shields. Go, NG, go! Kill that Mantis! We win, and we get another NG, and this one actually already has weapons training, so we'll use them in that system. Cool. Let's vent. You two. Our shipside crew, although they're low on health, we won't be venting them. They'll get back over a few jumps, and I want to preserve their skills. Oh, you're the one who's just joined. You're the one I actually want on weapons. You switch over and become my new shields person. You see, I'm going to actually upgrade my sensors just for convenience so we can see what's on the enemy ship in terms of crew before we board. It's not really necessary for us to do that, but we can afford frivolous luxuries at this point. Save crew positions, and let's go. We don't need hacking for this fight. We win this really, really quickly with boarding. I don't even want to lock them out of that room. Let's just... In fact, let's pre-cloak and we will just win before they even get to fire anything. We just have to stop my mind-controlled pilot from breaking stuff. I think we finish killing about the time the cloak runs out. Yep. Yeah, that's the nice thing about having really upgraded special systems, especially hacking and cloaking. With boarding, as long as your crew are strong enough, which with a boarding ship you generally should always have, and especially if you have a 4-person teleporter, it's just a matter of time before you win each fight. And highly upgraded hacking on weapons and highly upgraded cloaking, those buy you loads of time. I see people occasionally try to turn, and some people are rather chronic about this, trying to turn every boarding ship into a gunship, and it really isn't necessary. You can get by with, level 3 weapons for a very long time, or even lower than that. I could probably got by with level 2 to just occasionally use the burst laser. Let's go this way. It passes up seeing this beacon, but frankly, this sees a lot more. And we don't need to see every single beacon in this sector, because there's at least 2 stores here. Search among the stores. Get boarding. We probably didn't need to hack this, but we'll make it completely safe by hacking. There's no risk that that burst 3 does anything that might annoy me. Take that down so this fight goes faster. Don't let the human die. We killed our own crew. I'm sure they'll be given funerals with honor, etc. All it takes to win is flagrant disregard for the lives of your crew. We don't need to make more scrap before this store. We already have 200. Buy the Ion Blast, it'll help us get through Zoltan Shields faster. We could buy emergency respirators to make auto ship boarding even better, but that's completely unnecessary. And there's another store to go to. This is a good store. I kind of wish now that I hadn't bought that Ion Blast. I can afford, can't I, burst 2 heavy laser and scanners? Yes, I can. Cool. In that case, we're not ever going to use this halberd beam. Do we save that for the final phase? Because, like, we could just go like this. That's really, really fast. Obviously, the Ion Blast is not as good a weapon as the halberd beam, but also the Ion Blast requires 2 fewer weapons upgrades, and we can probably get something fast to eventually replace that. I mean, for most fights, we would be doing this. We would only take the small bomb off our belt for the flagship. Yeah, we're doing it. Bye, halberd beam. So, yeah, we're ridiculously overpowered. There's no reason for us to have this on our belt right now because the only blue option it gives is already covered by my NGs. So we'll just hold that to swap for the small bomb if we don't get anything else. We will almost certainly just get something else and that purchase will be wasted. But whatever, we can sell it and we've only lost 15 scrap. And I obviously didn't know when I went to this store that there was going to be a god store right next to it. Right, let's go and stomp on the entire rest of the game. By 3. Take a fight. This is a possible double scrap reward. They have really good weapons, but so what? Really good weapons don't matter if you never get to use them. You get vented. This is another fight we probably didn't need to bother hacking. Because we could just cloak all this crap and our crystal lockdowns would keep them out. Nice, a double reward. I mean, I'm sure glad that we got that. We're really struggling and need the extra scrap. Everyone get vented. I'm gonna go make myself another cup of tea while they are cloning. So I'll be back in a moment. Okay, we're back. There's another store. We don't care about that right now. Let's just get upgrades. It's not really a good way to dive in this sector, even though I'd kind of like to. Well, we'll look here. If it looks like there's a bunch of encounters back there, we could do like some silly double dive or something like that. Of course, it's an NG sector, so that probably is not what we're going to find. And if there isn't, I'll just go out. There. Improved sensors give us a blue option. Now, this blue option isn't very good. It's a low scrap reward. Like, that's 21 scrap. That's less than it cost us to upgrade the sensors anyway. But in this case, okay, we've seen 2 encounters, so we will dive. In this case, we upgraded the sensors for a different reason anyway. Did we get our evade training up? No. Let's do this anyway. We can't quite 100% cloak evade, but 95 is pretty good. We're going to go here, maybe even there, and do a double dive. No, we need our missiles. Yeah, we'll investigate this. Are you giving me... Okay, this isn't the version of the quest that gives you 5 drones, which is a pity. We could use 5 drones. I would just not deliver them. Okay. You have no medical unit, and a crew full of NGs. I, don't think we need to hack here. Lockdown. Let's do a very, very long cloak. I slightly mistimed that, so I couldn't finish breaking the weapons, but whatever, they're going to be dead before they could ever hurt me with them. We get a Zoltan. Which of you we want to keep? You're our border. Have you on engines. You have a bit of training, but not very much. Let's dismiss you and replace you with a Zoltan. Get some free power. Get everyone in position, save crew positions. Now you can start being vented. I could upgrade my clone bay at this point just because it would make the run take less time. And I suppose it would give it some protection against a small bomb or an Artemis missile, although really I don't think there's much chance of that happening. We're probably going to have to deliberately manufacture an opportunity for us to get any crew training because not very many ships are ever going to get to shoot at us more than like once or twice. Take this. Like this ship, we are going to just trounce. Lock it down. We are now immune to damage. Lockdown now. And you lock down now. And we win very easily. I suppose really updating the clone bay doesn't help with the fact that our crystals just take forever to get vented. If we'd bought the emergency respirators earlier, it would take even longer. So off to the dive. We got a double dive coming up. Let's buy one more power bar so I can do this at all times, and I can power the bomb by turning my O2 off. I probably don't want to waste bombs on dive ships, but I might. Question is, do I just board this ship? I think the answer is yes. Let them board me. I should have already sent someone to doors actually for the dive. That was a silly thing to do. You can win dive fights by just killing the enemy. Are you gonna break my O2? Fine, I'll send an NG to fix it. Do a long cloak now, that will actually last long enough to cloak the ASB. Okay, we fully smashed the weapons. We could probably kill this ship just for fun. But I can't be bothered. Let's just warp my crew back. Give my system some time to come off, cool down. They won't be able to break that system, it's level 3. We don't even need to bother boarding this ship. Their weapons are not dangerous enough to be worth the hassle. Hey, how about you? Oh, I wanted to keep them out, but they broke the door down too quickly. This flak 2 will sync up with the ASB, which means we just do a really long cloak. We cloak everything, we jump out. So the double dive was totally non-threatening. Hey, that was a forced abandoned sector. I'm gonna just go for the nebula. I can't be bothered to deal with late game Lanius bombers. We are strong enough to do it, I think, but... we can do just as well in this nebula. Everybody get vented. Probably gonna go here, there, store, and then... is that? That's the only store in the sector, because this is the only non-nebula beacon and it's a quest. I can't remember what that quest is. That's the delivery one, isn't it? Or the investigate, rather than delivery. It's the one that can be a delivery or can be an investigate. The only thing we really might want at a store is like another overpowered weapon like a Burst 2 or a Flak, or Zolt Shield Bypass. We could get a pre-igniter, I suppose, if it was there, but it wouldn't be really worth it. Our weapons are very, very quick already. If there's nothing good there, I'll get shields up. Our long-range scanners allow us to keep up with these people. We shouldn't need to hack this either. Frankly, we probably don't even need to bomb them. We can just kite until our cooldown, our crystal power comes off cooldown. Kite these three. We could also do this. They have no pilot. We might be able to hit, even though they have 3 shield bubbles. Yep, we did. Lockdown. Got him. You don't need venting. Does this human need venting? Not really. Unusual, but true. One, two, three. Yeah. Go here to see more, then jump back to take another fight. The ship is kind of annoying. I don't think the weapons are especially dangerous. I'm not going to waste a hacking throw. Let's just board break these 2 critical systems. Actually swap, put the human in weapons and the crystal in piloting, because it's more vital to break piloting so they can't escape. Vent our NG out of that room. When the piloting is fully broken, we can then break mind control. Yeah, we didn't even need to cloak there. Okay, well, we've got a breach on their engines room, so if we can completely break that, they'll never be able to escape. They have at least level 6 engines, it looks like. So we won't ever be completely breaking that, because it will just kill the ship probably if we hit it. Okay, we did manage to completely break it. 23 scrap. Forward scouts are very, very irritating. And barely worth the hassle. Let's attack this Mantis bomber. They have no medical unit. Although this isn't actually a Mantis bomber, it's a pirate version of the ship, so they may not actually have any Mantises on there. And the only crew I can see right now is an NG. Cloak that, please. I'm gonna actually... Okay, I guess I needed to open more doors. I'm being careless. You get out. We get a firebomb, we don't care about that, we're just selling it. Conveniently, we get to a store next jump. We actually get 2 jumps worth of healing, so I'm not gonna bother venting any of these guys. Actually. You're fine, you're fine. You 2 actually still need venting, you don't get. 2 jumps worth is only 32, and that won't get you up to full. Won't quite get you up to full either, actually. If there's nothing good at this store, or not anything good enough to use enough scrap, I might upgrade my doors just to help with situations like that, so I don't have to run my pilot out, because it's kind of mildly annoying. I could send this shield's NG to just man doors, but I don't think it matters that much. The door manning wasn't the reason the oxygen got broken, I just didn't open enough vents. What have you got? They have a pre-igniter. Let's not get it. We could just for hilarity, but I really don't feel like it's worth it. So we're passing. I accepted it would be funny. Here we once again wish we had upgraded doors, but whatever. I'll actually hack here because those weapons are kind of dangerous. This time let's remember to actually open enough vents. Are you kidding? They still broke it. I mean, they're 2 Mantis, but that shouldn't matter. Crew all break systems at exactly the same speed. I was hoping to catch them before they got out of the room. Whatever. Just a waste of a bomb. We can kill all of these people in the locked room and use crystal lockdown if needed. You 2 need venting. All we need to do for the rest of the run is upgrade our weapons, upgrade teleporter, and if we get enough scrap, upgrade shield, but that isn't necessary. And upgrade reactor, obviously, but for this stage of the game, that's very cheap. We should get more than enough scrap to do that stuff, considering the scanners we've got. Are we hacking here? Yeah, sure, let's hack weapons just to buy us time. I did not depower in time, that was dumb. And as long as I cycle these lockdowns correctly, they're never going to be able to run to their medbay. Let's just cloak right now. These 4 all need venting this time. They took a fair amount of a beating there. I honestly might upgrade my engines a little bit more if I get enough scrap, just to avoid having to waste time training, because it doesn't really make a great deal of difference. We're going to win the run. It's just a matter of getting to 100% evade. I need at least level 1 skill practically, otherwise level 6 engines and no skill for your engines person only gets you 98% evade. But level 1 and level 5 skill and level 5 engines is good enough. This could be the piloting blue option, but we have a clone bay, and that's actually better than the piloting blue option anyway. Okay, I'm a little bit wary of boarding here, because if we break their weapons, that could cause them to power their hacking, and they could hack my clone bay. I'm actually going to only board with 2 people here, so that we can break hacking first. Our special systems will buy us enough time to then move over and break the weapons. I should also power up the small bomb in case. They would eventually get through all of my shields with the Ion Blast 2. But that's only if I leave their weapons undisturbed. I'm gonna actually warp these people back before they die, just in case they do decide to hack my my clone bay when that got repaired. It didn't. They did loads of dodging and then hit my weapons. And they did it again. If we could get a hull breach at the right time, we could just leave them the Ion Blast 2 and use that to get my evade all the way up. But I don't think I want to do that. There we go. Hacking is down completely, so I don't really need to worry too much about this shit. Let's let them shoot this at me for a while, and maybe when they get their weapons fully fixed, I'll see if I can breach it in such a way as to leave the burst 3 up. In fact, I can definitely leave the burst 3 down, rather. I can definitely do enough damage, because what I could do if I got a breach on that room with the heavy laser, I could definitely ensure they only had this up, because I could just board into that room and put another point of damage onto it and leave them with exactly 3 points in this system, which is enough to power the Ion 2, but not enough to power the burst 3. We're getting dodges quite rapidly anyway, we might not even need to bother with that. I guess I should be using my backup battery to get extra evade. Doesn't really matter. I think we've done too much damage, because they pulled the shield bubble down. Oh well. I'll have these guys board. My shields are irrelevant now. I didn't mean to board all 4 of them, whatever. If I was going to board all 4 of them, I would have put them in shields. But whatever. We got level 1 engines there. So that's good enough. If we get to level 5 engines, we'll have 100% cloak evade, even if we get no extra skill for the run. We'll eventually hit enough to kill them. Take this fight. We'll attack the automated ship. I'm not even going to bother boarding this. This is another one we might be able to do training with breaches. We'll let this dodge train us for a little bit, because it currently can't hurt us. And it can't mind control us. And every single time they get their weapons fully fixed, I'll just fling a heavy laser at them and see if I can breach. Cool, we got several dodges there. Chain laser spins up to fire quite quickly, so that's good for getting my training. Okay, they'll never be able to annoy me with mind control again, so that's part 1 of this dealt with. Only 10 more dodges that my engine needs. I could shoot and try to breach them now, but if I did, I might bring the chain laser down and then it will take longer. Got it. Okay, so we will get full evade here. I won't bother even cutting this out because this won't take very long. We need 4 dodges, and that chain laser is fully spun up. I of course said that and they immediately started dodging everything. I could get shield skill, but I don't care about that. If I ever get in a position where shield skill matters on this run, I've probably done something quite badly wrong anyway. Have we seriously not dodged a single shot so far since I said I wouldn't bother cutting this? Okay, we got 1. Out of about 12 since then. Can we just dodge all 3 of the next 3 shots? The game is like, no, you will have shield skill. We demand it. Please just let me dodge. You are so annoying. We have 37% evade right now. You can really see our 37% evade. Finally. So, evade training achieved. didn't get a double reward, but it's fine. Let's start upgrading my weapons. So now we can do this for where we want a ship fight. But most of the time we can't be bothered with that stuff. Let's just go in like this. Layout of this sector is kind of bad. We're going to have to double back a bit and lose some jumps. But it's fine. Let's attack this pirate and completely crush them. They are pathetically weak. We didn't vent our crew there, and it's not going to matter in the slightest. I don't need to break their weapons, I'll just break their faces. We don't need will. We are already able to impose our will on all of our enemies. Start upgrading the teleporter. This is only really necessary for the flagship, but... at the same time, it doesn't really, at this point, matter if I throw scrap away on stuff I don't need. Who are you calling repugnant? If we run 3 shields, we're completely safe in this fight, so let's just do that. We need to break their clone bay. I guess we probably need a bomb for that. Getting through the shields is not ideal, and dashing crew in to do it is kind of problematic with the having to fight rocks. Some of our crew lost their matchups, but it doesn't matter. Hermes Missile is a good boarding support weapon earlier on in the run, but we are well past the stage where that is relevant. The only point in which it would be better than a small bomb is if something had level 3 medbay, I guess. And we can work around that pretty easily. We can just use our conventional guns to break things, frankly. I think I want weapon 6 next, and then a bit more power. Scan for the lost ship. We get to fight this ridiculously weak enemy. If we pre-cloak, can we kill them before the hack even lands? I think we can. Answer is yes. You two get vented. Now we can power all our weapons. We probably won't in most circumstances. Most of the time we just need the bomb. And we're good to go. We might as well go explore some of these. If we have to dive, it really doesn't matter. Let's activate our advanced weapons. We literally only have that because of the upgrade we just took at the last beacon. You need weapon 6 for that blue option. I'm going to take all of these even though I don't see any fights. Yeah, we get this. Just give us free stuff. The score farming way to do that is to take the fight because you get scrap for killing the ship. But it's a lot faster to just take free stuff. I don't want to deal with you right now. We will just use successive lockdowns to absolutely suffocate you. Go fix my shields now. We have to double dive, but one of them is a nebula thing anyway, so... We got about 90 scrap for absolutely no effort for doing that. This ship we do want to hack because they have multiple missiles, and we'll actually use our conventional weapons to fight it. I guess our weapons person is a bit rusty. Let's just cloak and get out then. We'll get our cloak as close to off cooldown as possible because we are jumping into another dive. Albeit it's a nebula dive, so there'll be no ASB in it. But they might have missiles there. They've got good dodge. Well, they don't have missiles. They have really good weapons. I will, however, try to do it without hacking. Use our full cloak timing to get our FTL rather charged up as much as possible. And let's kill these people just for fun. And also weapons training. We will get our weapons trained all the way up in this fight if we just stick around and kill them with our burst lasers. We got some fires there. We got even more there. Easy win, and off to Sector 7. Zoltan homeworlds are pirate controlled. Do we want to look for the Zoltan Shield quest? Let's do it. We don't care about boarding Zoltans. We are more than strong enough to deal with that. Border police we can easily destroy. Well, I hope that's not the quest. Let's secure the fuel supply. You only get a good reward in this fight if you can crew kill, but we can do that, so... Here come the Zoltans. We aren't using our weapons right now, so let's run you out of that room. Break that clone bay. Good. Very, very long cloak. Buy lots of time. Blow these fools up. Vent the ones over on our ship. And we win. Some of our boarders didn't even take damage there, since we pretty much just used them to break the Columba. Do this just so we can re-oxygenate the ship very slightly faster. We're not exactly using the level 3 teleporter yet, but we can afford it. We don't really need the shields upgrade. Take these nebula fights. We don't need to hack this ship. Where have you boarded me? There. Because the only dangerous weapon on this ship is the Flak 2, and that's so slow that we can cloak it every single time. Okay, that's not level 3, so that's all we needed to know to be sure of winning this. Cloak. Now our crew on our ship are actually losing the boarding situation here because they're a little bit vulnerable. I don't really want to lose my pilot training, so let's split you guys up. Bring 2 crystals back. You guys go and fight the rocks. You stay over there for when they warp back. I could just break the teleporter and strand them on my ship, but whatever. That would require me to move my crew, and I can't be bothered with that. Let's just vent you guys now. We got a shield Zoltan. Do we prefer that over an NG shields? Yeah, it's free power. The NG is better at repairs, but I don't think we're going to need to be repairing our ship very much. Taking damage is not really a thing we're doing. Oops. Everybody back to your positions. Let's get the clone bay up. Cool, we found a bunch of fights in this nebula. That's very unusual for a Zoltan nebula. They're usually rubbish. Didn't really need more power. Here we'll just use our guns. Do I want to hack? I see no reason not to hack and just make this completely safe. Oops, I fired my weapons in the wrong order there. I meant to fire the burst lasers first and then the heavy laser. They're not in the order I would usually have them for a gunship, so that didn't happen. Fight's totally under control. And we win with the next moment. Well, if there's a Zoltan shield thing down there, we won't get it. At this point, if we find the quest, there's a reasonable chance they'd put the beacon too late. They'd be like, oh, there's not enough time before you hit the rebel base. Okay. Now, this ship has NG medbot dispersal, but I think our crew punched fast enough that it doesn't matter. And if it does, well, we can just break the medbot. Can we outpunch the medbot dispersal? It's looking like yes. Yep. Even with the medbot dispersal, they are still just NGs. We never did manage to get a Mantis, unless we managed to find it in this sector. We never did manage to get a Mantis to go with our boarding team, but I don't think it's particularly affected their performance. Is that an asteroid field? No, it's a pulsar. Probably avoid that. We can send in our crew in a shuttle. They might die, but they'll just come back in the clone bay. Yeah, we lost our shield Zoltan, whose position I haven't actually saved because they only joined recently. I didn't avoid the pulsar because I didn't see any other fights to go to. You have no med bay. That's a very foolish decision on your part. Doesn't really matter if I have no shields, if I just break all of your weapons before you ever get to use them. They got to fire one missile at me. Here, come on in. No, I don't want a human. Doing that saves me from needing to clone anyone here. We could do it in complete safety because we have Zoltans to stick in the clone bay. Why do that when we don't have to? Okay, good. That's the Natural Mineral Protection Act event. End to this is a little bit awkward. Is this it? No. We have to go to that store. So I guess we'll circle around and hit some more stuff. We'll violate the Natural Mineral Protection Act. soon as this Zoltan shield is down, these people are very dead. That wasn't very hard. We are going to vent all of these people because they took explosion damage. I don't need all my internal doors open, I just need those ones. Well, we have 2 stores to go to. I don't really want to go to 2 stores, but one of them is pretty much forced, and we might as well see both of them, since I don't know how we would get more jumps if we don't go to the bottom one. We can maybe go here, there, store, there, out. I don't know. We definitely aren't getting the Zoltan Shield quest. We board fast enough, we can stop them boarding us at all. We barely had to do any boarding micro in this, because our courage is so strong that even like swapping people around hasn't been necessary. There only was because some explosion damage caused some of our crew to be lower on health than they might have otherwise been. Now you finish venting. Take this, store, there, and out. They have kind of good weapons over here. I'll actually bother to hack this shit. That's an inconvenient location. Just vent you out. You might need to hold them off for a moment. Take that Columba down. Okay, we're safe now. We can let them in. Oops. Well, we get a weapon drop right before the store. We're not using that. And I won't vent my crew because they're about to get a double heal from store in the next beacon anyway. In fact, it might be a triple heal because we're probably hitting store, beacon, and then another store. Okay, well, there's some cool things here. We want stealth weapons. We have really fast weapons and level 3 cloaking. We don't really need backup DNA bank. We're gonna get it just to make absolutely certain I can't possibly screw up, other than having my crew abducted, which could still happen. I suppose we could regret it if there's another nice augment there, but whatever. Boo! We'll hear them out. I don't think you actually get anything from killing them, if I recall correctly, but I don't know, because I haven't done it in, well, ever, really. Oh, nice, there's a flak. So I really feel like I need that. So this ion blast was totally unnecessary. I thought that was going to end up being the case, but whatever. Leave the flak in storage for now. We'll break it out for phase 2 and 3. This is fine for phase 1. We really do not need a fire beam. We are more than capable of crew killing the flagship already, but thank you, your support is appreciated. Do we take a repair station? Take one, just to make absolutely certain. Boo! That fight got immediately taken over. That means our path kinda sucks. We almost certainly have to dive. In fact, we do have to dive. Our only ways to the base are through this. The only way to not dive is go like here, 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 there, and hope nothing gets taken over, which seems highly unlikely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we have the time to do that. Try to download the data stores. I didn't really want that. Unfortunately, we found that all of the fights are at the back of the sector. We might get some of these empty jumps anyway, because that sometimes is the case in, like here. Don't know why I haven't already boarded. Go in shields so we can fight 4v4. Lockdown. Cool. Now we don't even need to lock down again, although we, I think, didn't need to do that anyway. Nice, double reward. You guys all get vented. I just want to open the external doors, not the internal ones. Did we find the store, actually? It's already been taken over. I wouldn't have wanted anything anyway, but if it was on our path, I might have saved scrap just in case. And to sell the fire beam. So from here, we'll max reactor, we'll do this actually right now. We'll see if we can get some more engines. We won't quite max the ship, but we're not that far off it. I mean, we need to get our weapons up, and we definitely won't have the scrap to do that and all of the engines. But this will still be a very, very high scoring run, I think. One, two, three. No way to know which of these two is better, so we'll just go to one of them. Move in, we get nothing. Hit this repair station. Get more free stuff. Take this fight, then we have to dive and then go to the base. We don't need to preserve resources at this point. You guys can burn to death. Hey, we got Firebomb again. Now, the only annoying thing about doing a dive right before the flagship is it means our crew won't necessarily be at full health, because they're highly likely to board us. But there's not much we can do about that, I think. Get this, and this. That. We probably won't get enough scrap for more upgrades unless well, no, the fights that were around the base have already been taken over. So, and all of the upgrades that we get, we might get like level 3 sensors before phase 3. Not that it matters; it doesn't do anything in the flagship fight. Okay, so we have to dive. Doesn't matter which dive we go through, so let's just do this one. Double Vulcans. They've boarded in a good location, thankfully. Honestly, let's shoot their teleporter to try to keep their crew on their ship so that I don't have to lose crew for my boarders. Level 1 cloak. We'll come out of the cloak. And once the cloak is nearer to being off cooldown, we'll just jump into the flagship fight. Those Vulcans are spun up now. We can't reset a bad hack, but it doesn't matter. We wouldn't have really been able to do that even if we'd got here earlier, because we would have to jump to a rebel-held beacon to do that. It's not really worth that to reset a bad hack. And that really is not something I care about. Frankly, well, we'll kind of want our weapons to make sure the missiles go offline, maybe. Now, with hacking and cloaking, we actually don't need to hit this room at all. I might as well show that off. Typically, I've been bombing this room just to be secure, but you actually don't need to do it at all. Let's just make sure that the power in our engines that gets us to 100% of 8 is real power, so that we don't have some hack nonsense. Actually, we need 2 in the buffer just in case. That's good enough. Or there. Because yeah, alternating a really long cloak and a really long hack on that system. Especially if you time it properly, should be good enough to just never allow them to get this to fire at you and you can't cloak it. Hack that all the way down. We actually are going to shoot it now though, because we're going to board into that room in a moment and I want it completely broken when we do that. Well, it isn't, and I can't be bothered to wait. This room is kind of double hacked because we can use the crystal lockdown power as well as the hack doors. Which one's you? You're Johnson. Since he's been battering on the doors, I just want to make sure that guy dies. We don't need force shields right now, so let's not. Cloak. Now the missiles are broken anyway. Well, they broke the doors, but they'll relock in a moment. Here we go. Just in time. Which ones are you, Rafen? Lock down so that these guys die. Let them in. These guys will lose this round and have to be cloned, but it's fine. I also don't need level 3 hack there anymore. Death animation hadn't finished playing, I guess, there. Whatever, you can eat. Trap him in there. Lock them in. Get wrecked, Joel. Sure, go into the room that's locked and on fire. That seems like a fine idea. Do either of you have a lockdown to use here? No. They might just kill them anyway. Yep. So, we've completely crew killed them while taking no damage. Go break the shields. They're gonna start fixing stuff, but not anywhere near fast enough. That's good enough. So, very easy phase 1. And the next 2 phases are going to be even easier. We'll actually bother breaking our flak out. And let's just go win the run now. Thank you, Small Bomb. Why am I doing that? So this phase, I'll send a boarding drone over. Let's leave 2 crystals behind and just warp these 2 into missiles. Leave... I don't have 2 full health crystals, but whatever. We'll fight at the base, I guess. It doesn't matter. We don't exactly need to pull the runaway trick since their crew are all dead already. Oh, my crew are actually all back to full health anyway. More than there. Like you. Why am I not hacking the shields? Just break that. You go in there. I stunned my own guy by being a bit incompetent, but why did I not? I'm getting lazy in this run because this is so, you know, I'm so absurdly overpowered that I don't actually need to concentrate that much. Let's just do a long cloak. I have stealth weapons. They won't get another boarding surge, drone surge, whatever. They won't get another surge of any kind, except a surge of damage. Yeah, we can do this. That's the only upgrade we can get, unfortunately. So this phase, they'll mind control somebody, we'll just kill whoever that somebody is. We actually don't have anywhere to put all of our power, because our teleporter and our hack is worthless until the missiles go, until the Zoltan shield goes down. I guess we'll be putting it into the clone bay to clone whoever we just murder. Ideally, it's not our pilot that they mind control, but it might be. Run them out of the room in case it is. It's not. It's one of our crystals. We'll kill them. Oh no, they killed the human. Should have been firing those weapons already. Only very marginally affected the timing on one heavy laser. Okay. Getting shields. Vent you out. I don't want you breaking my weapons. You get back. Oops, I accidentally opened all my doors again. You guys just go and start breaking random stuff on there. This is going to be a 0 damage flagship. That was a very, very, very strong run. Let's find out what our score will be. I think it will be quite good. Yeah, 63-64 is pretty strong. It's not, like, completely ludicrously excessive, but it is well over 6,000, and that's generally a sign you've had a strong one. Exact 50-50 ratio of ships defeated to beacons explored. We had long-range scanners from Sector 4, and even before them we were getting some really good sectors, like the 3rd sector and the 4th sector in particular were just insanely lucrative. So, we've dusted off Crystal B in very dominant fashion. Our 3rd ship will be 3, 2, 1, and go. Well, it's the Streak Killer. We can redeem Mantis C. I mean, it doesn't really need to be redeemed. I messed up and we got screwed over by not being able to find hacking the entire run. It's not really a fault of this ship that we lost. It does have some early vulnerabilities, but if you looked at where we were in that run that we lost in Sector 3, it looked very much like we were going to win. We just needed a store that had hacking and it never turned up. But hopefully next time we have better luck. So I hope that you enjoyed the run, and I will see you for Mantis C. Bye for now.